Hi, I'm Kevin,
And I'm Amanda.
and we are serving up
All that jam.
All That Jam, Quick Hit. Ari Joshua on the Jamband label.
One of the things that comes up on this show a lot, because of course it's in the name jam, is this question around like the jam band label. Did you choose jam bands or did they choose you? Because a lot of times it's more a matter of artists getting put into whatever genre, maybe it's like adjacent in some ways. But I'd love to know, like, given your extensive kind of history working with so many different people, is that something that you think about? Does it ever come up in conversation of like, why are we being put over here? Like, how do you feel about that?
I mean, it's coming up just today because I'm playing a jazz quartet gig that's very much like a jazz quartet gig next week. And in the description, it's kind of like he leans on the jam band side, but he's,
Yep.
proclaiming that this is jazz. So, um, uh, here's my thought about it. And I'll just go really deep because I like to be deep.
Awesome. Let's do
Um,
it.
yeah, which is that I think it's actually incredibly rare and way more rare than we actually think for humans to have original thoughts and original ideas. And I think that one thing that all like geniuses in every medium, but particularly in music, what separates them apart from other people, what makes them really incredibly amazing is that a lot of the stuff that they came up with were based on original ideas. And then they were able to kind of like take these original ideas, which granted, they always come from somewhere before. It's always like, I like this, I like that, I like this, I like this. Therefore, I'm going to create this. Um, so, I mean, I don't know how to say this in context, but I think, with Medeski, Martin, and Wood, with them, I think their courage to always explore the unknown and to take risks and to be there for each other in those moments and to create something together. And I understand why they find it to be so precious because to uncover like new ground as an artist is really something of a miracle. You know what I mean? And I think, you hear this all the time. Like there's a million people that can paint like a Picasso, or copy some other painting, but there's only like one Picasso. And like, why is Picasso Picasso, or why is Van Gogh sort of so cherished? I mean, um, it's really it ultimately on the human side and the experience, the sort of life experience and the expressive side, and somewhere else that exists that creative, um, you know, beginning. And um, I guess one thing that makes it tough is that when you're doing that, you're kind of risking not being able to appeal to a larger number of people, which may necessarily be the best business move, I guess. But um, I think what's happened is, there wasn't the term jam band wasn't around in the 90s, in the early 90s that I know of in the same context. I mean, even like the rock bands that were happening were like upset about being called grunge, but they were playing their brand of original rock, which was new for them. When the Dead was around, they were they were basically like a rock band that was experimenting with psychedelics, that was also not afraid to like find and discover new original territory in the moment. I think Fish is a rare combination of people that is capable also of like these incredible like discovery moments where they're really just exploring the moment. And even compositionally, I think when Trey was writing a lot of that music, it was music that was put together in a way that no one had really quite done it like that, And then now there's this thing where there's this art, and the media and the way that the press is that they're looking to sell their you know their words and their reporting, and then the venues are mostly trying to sell alcohol, but sell tickets and stuff, and people are trying to appeal to share their art and resonate with people. But I think there's a smaller amount of people that are really discovering something completely unique. And so I think if a band is like, if they kind of sound a lot like other bands that play in this style, I think there's a fair assessment of calling that a jam band. That sounds accurate to me. Okay, this is a jam band. Like, I've heard this, they're emulating this style that's been around. But I feel bad for bands and for artists that are really genuinely uncovering new stuff, because there's really no way to label that. I mean, other than to say like innovative or fresh. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean,
totally
did jam band find me or me find? I definitely first was into jazz, first was into the blues, first was into Hendrix, first was into grunge, first was into Grateful Dead, first was into Fish, and then the Word came later. So,
Yep.
All that music came first. But as far as the label goes, I love the scene. I love the fans. I think it's like, that's like one of the greatest pool of fans you could play for. So I therefore would want to be labeled that way because I want to resonate with those people.
If you are enjoying All That Jam, please like and subscribe to our social media channels at All That Jam Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or visit our website, allthatjampod.com. Make sure to sign up for our email list and tune in every week for new episodes.
Also, look for full interviews on our YouTube channel. And remember, stay beautiful, but don't stay underground too long.